Hitting dozens of SUVs at a local car dealership, why this is a growing problem and why it couldn't come at a worse time. And what the Texas Department of Criminal Justice is saying about what went wrong after not having media witness yesterday's execution in Huntsville. Next.
Sure, it's sunny and quiet outside today, but we actually have a lot to go over. First of all, NOAA's hurricane outlook issued today, the newest drought monitor, and some weekend rain chances. We'll see you in a bit.
Looking for a new used car for a teenager? We can help. Two safety groups are out with their best choices when it comes to safety, reliability, and affordability. We'll have those for you coming up.
An announcement today on who can and who cannot ditch their masks at this year's NIOSA celebration and the other steps they're taking to make sure everyone is safe. The news at 5 starts right now. But first, Israel and Hamas agreeing to a ceasefire ending the 11-day war. That announcement made just a few hours ago.
The war has caused widespread destruction in the Gaza Strip, killing hundreds of people as a result. President Joe Biden is expected to make comments about this new development, perhaps during this newscast.
We'll have details on how the ceasefire came to be a bit later in the newscast.
Also new at 5, not only are individual vehicles easy targets, a major Mitsubishi dealership overnight hit in a big way by catalytic converter thieves.
They are in high demand, the converters, and they are on the black market for the precious metals inside each converter.
Mission Mitsubishi discovered at least 50 catalytic converters stolen overnight from vehicles at the front of the lot facing San Pedro.
Jessica Degollado tells us the owner of the dealership says this couldn't have come at a worse time in more ways than one.
That's what SUVs sound like without catalytic converters. Dozens of brand new vehicles without any were being moved to a nearby storage lot. Their catalytic converters had been stolen overnight, one right after another. At first they thought, maybe 15 of them.
I said, okay, that's horrible, terrible, but okay.
That was within hours of the theft. No, by early afternoon, when the owner, who is out of town, was told it was nearly 50 of them.
I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
Being that they were parked on the front lot facing San Pedro. But since it was 2:30 or 3 in the morning, he says there's not much traffic. Thieves can be hard to see below the vehicles, and it only takes a few minutes to steal catalytic converters.
All the right circumstances came together for the thieves this time, unfortunately. That, they went undetected. No one noticed them.
He says SAPD does have surveillance video showing 2 men, possibly the same thefts that he says Mitsubishi Motors had alerted them to just a few days ago, prompting them to hire an armed security guard who is supposed to start Friday evening.
Just for it to happen a day before we engaged the security company was just, disheartening. I mean, it was bad.
To make matters worse, he says replacement catalytic converters are on back order, up to 45 days. Co-owner Islam Hindash says being that he has the #1 dealership in the nation, he's got a 2-month inventory, enough to hopefully last until the new catalytic converters are installed in all those vehicles. Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
New details. We now know the name of a man shot and killed in the parking lot of a convenience store last night. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office identifying him as 25-year-old Cameron Woods. San Antonio police were called out to shots fired at about 11 p.m. at Stanley's Ice House. It's on East Commerce. It's not far from South New Braunfels Avenue on the east side. When police arrived, they found Woods with multiple gunshot wounds to the chest, along with a large crowd of witnesses.
Today, City Council members approving a $24 million development incentive centering around the old Lone Star Brewery. The developers are planning a $596 million project to create a 32-acre mixed-use development called the Lone Star District. Today, the City Council unanimously approved a deal that would reimburse the developers up to $24 million over 15 years, depending on how much they develop the site. District 5 Councilwoman Shirley Gonzalez said the old brewery has been a blight on the area for years and urged her colleagues to approve the incentive.
Leaving this and allowing it to continue to decline is so damaging to the community on so many levels and would be really so disrespectful to the constituent of District 5 if we didn't find a way to invest in it and support it.
The project is expected to be developed in 3 phases into 2030. Demolition work expected to begin later this year.
The Texas Department of Criminal Justice in some hot water today after not having a media witness inside yesterday's execution of Quintin Jones. Erica Hernandez has more on what the TDCJ says went wrong.
For the first time since July of last year, an execution took place in Huntsville. Quintin Jones, who was convicted of killing his great-aunt in 1999, received the lethal injection yesterday evening. While there wasn't any unusual circumstances with the execution itself, members of the media were not inside to witness it. It left many wondering how this mistake happened. Of the previous 572 executions that have taken place since capital punishment resumed in 1982, all have had at least one media witness. So what went wrong? The Texas Department of Criminal Justice did not want to do an on-camera interview today, but spokesperson Jason DeSalle gave us this statement in an email. As a result of a miscommunication between officials at the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, there was never a call made to summon the media witnesses into the unit. We apologize for this critical error. The agency is investigating to determine exactly what occurred to ensure it does not happen again. Usually during an execution, there are guaranteed seats for the Associated Press and a local news outlet. Having media present allows reporters to observe to provide accurate detail of the execution. Now, since this has never happened before, the TDCJ says they are unaware if this is in violation of state law or in violation of agency policy. The next scheduled execution is June 30th. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
We want to take a look at the daily COVID-19 numbers in Bexar County. Metro Health reporting 118 new infections and 1 new death to report. 154 patients are hospitalized, 48 in the ICU, 28 are on ventilators. If you got the jab, you can ditch the mask at Fiesta's famous All Night in Old San Antonio. NIOSA officials making that announcement that vaccinated people will not be required to wear masks. This year's event runs from June 22nd to the 25th. A limited number of tickets will be sold online for each night, allowing for social distancing. A new addition this year, touchless and cashless pay systems with a wristband. This means no more waiting in line for food or drink tickets. More details on this event. You can head over to KSAT.com.
All right, President Joe Biden speaking about the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
Let's listen in.
Against indiscriminate rocket attacks from Hamas and other Gaza-based terrorist groups that have taken the lives of innocent civilians in Israel. The Prime Minister also shared with me his appreciation for the Iron Dome system, which our nations developed together and which has saved lives of countless Israeli citizens, both Arab and Jew. I assured him of my full support to replenish Israel's Iron Dome system to ensure its defenses and security in the future. Over the last 11 days, I've spoken with the Prime Minister 6 times. I've also spoken with President Abbas of the Palestinian Authority more than once, and part of our intense diplomatic engagement. And I want to also thank the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, our National Security Advisor, and everyone on our team for their incredible efforts to bring this about, this outcome that we're about to see. You know, we've held intensive high-level discussions, hour by hour, literally. Egypt, the Palestinian Authority, and other Middle Eastern countries, with the aim of avoiding the sort of prolonged conflict we've seen in previous years when the hostilities have broken out. I extend my sincere gratitude to President al-Sisi and the senior Egyptian officials who played such a critical role in this diplomacy. I also appreciate the contributions of other parties in the region who've been engaged in working toward the end of hostilities. These hostilities have resulted in the tragic deaths of so many civilians, including children. And I send my sincere condolences to all the families, Israeli and Palestinian, who have lost loved ones, and my hope for a full recovery for the wounded. The United States committed to working with the United Nations, and we remain committed to working with the United Nations and other international stakeholders to provide rapid humanitarian assistance and to marshal international support for the people of Gaza and the Gaza reconstruction efforts. We will do this in full partnership with the Palestinian Authority, not Hamas, Authority, in a manner that does not permit Hamas to simply restock its military arsenal. I believe the Palestinians and Israelis equally deserve to live safely and securely and to enjoy equal measures of freedom, prosperity, and democracy. My administration will continue our quiet, relentless diplomacy toward that end. I believe we have a genuine opportunity to make progress, and I'm committed to working for it. And I want to thank you all. May God bless you all and pray that this continues. Thank you so much.
President Biden there at the White House saying he talked with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu just a short time ago about this ceasefire. All right, those are remarks from President Joe Biden about the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, basically detailing why he made that decision and what he hopes happens next.
Yes, hoping the peace continues and diplomacy wins out. Meantime, we have a lot to look at the weather department, Adam.
Yeah, we do. And, first and foremost, earlier this morning, a hint of a chill in the air relative to mid-late May. 59 to start the day today. The average low is 68. Then we topped out at 85, which is just a little below average for this time of year. Right now, most of us are into the 80s, mid-80s. Livernia at 85, 86 New Braunfels, along with Bernie and Bulverde now at 83 degrees. Quiet this evening, mostly clear to start. Then some increasing clouds and then fog later tonight and for the morning commute tomorrow. A comfortable evening as well. Temperatures going from 81 at 8 p.m. to 76 at 10 p.m. And then tomorrow morning we'll wake up to some readings in the 60s and a bit of a breeze out of the east-southeast. We also have the newest drought monitor to talk about. That came in today. We're going to compare it to what it looked like a few weeks ago. And NOAA's hurricane outlook is another good aspect we've got coming up here in a couple of minutes. I'll see you then.
Thank you, Adam. Providing helping, healing, and hope. They are the mission for a place called Alpha Home, a San Antonio center for women to receive addiction treatment at no or little cost. Today, they held their 15th annual Doorways of Hope luncheon at Central Catholic High School to help pay for some of those treatment programs. Alpha Home celebrating its 55th anniversary, and keynote speaker, actor, director, producer Daniel Baldwin flew into San Antonio to provide his support and talk about his personal experience with fighting addiction.
If you'd have an opportunity to drink from the well, it becomes your responsibility to replenish the well. And there were a lot of people that helped me when I was in really bad shape. And I'm a drug addict and an alcoholic. I'm sober now for many, many years. But most importantly, in step 12 of the program that I subscribe to, it talks about having had a spiritual awakening. We reach out to those who still suffer.
Baldwin, one of the famous acting family of brothers, spoke to current residents at Alpha Home as well as at the luncheon. I was honored to MC today's event. If you want more information about Alpha Home and the great things they do, you can go to alphahome.org.
Still ahead, if you have a 16-year-old who's looking to head out on the road, you might want to listen up, because after the break, we're going to tell you what's the best option for cars for teen drivers.
Safety first. If you're shopping for a car for a new graduate or a teenager who needs to get to a summer job, safety is a big deal. So new lists just out from two groups big on safety may just help. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz with some of the best cars for teens.
Teenagers, inexperience and immaturity make them the riskiest drivers. So when shopping for a used car for a teen, safety is high priority.
The used car market is really tough right now, but that doesn't mean you should sacrifice important safety features like electronic stability control or the latest accident avoidance systems, which are especially important for young drivers.
Take a look. The car on the top has electronic stability control. The one on the bottom does not. Consumer Reports tested cars for handling and braking. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety weighed in with crash tests, and they came up with 61 used cars that checked the boxes: safety, reliability, and affordability. All are priced between $6,000 and $20,000. So here are some of their best choices. For smaller cars, the Mazda 3, 2014 or newer. Toyota Prius, 2014 or newer. A little bigger, Subaru Outback or Legacy, 2013 or newer. Honda Accord, 2013 or newer, and among SUVs, the Chevy Equinox, 2017 and 2019. Cars that are too small, too big, or have high horsepower are not included on the list. To see the entire list of the best cars for teens, used and new, just head to our website. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
You see, I always hoped the theory that, like when I was a kid, I just got one of those big, like, Chrysler Cordobas
Right.
with the big,
Big old piece of steel.
wood, and, it was like, it was fine.
No crumple zones, one solid piece of steel bumpers, right?
Yeah.
That's a moving weapon.
Right? You're like,
Tank.
try to
Yeah.
hit me, people. Is that what your attitude was?
Yes, yeah. Not so much that.
It was good in the snow, too, because it was heavy. That's the nice thing.
Exactly.
We don't need to look for that around here. Usually, most winters, right? So we have the new drought monitor that's in. We've got NOAA's hurricane outlook and weekend rain chances to talk about. We're going to start with the drought monitor, particularly looking back 3 weeks ago. This is right about when our rain really started to kick in. You see the widespread areas of red indicating the areas of extreme and exceptional drought. Now, let's fast forward to today. There it is. We erased a lot of that extreme and exceptional drought because of the good rainfall. And keep in mind, the drought monitor today does not take into account the rainfall that we had yesterday and even Tuesday night. So next week's is likely to show even more improvement. Okay, let's get to the Hurricane Center forecast here from NOAA. And it's expected to be a slightly above average season. So that would mean 13 to 20 named storms. Of those, about 6 to 10 hurricanes. And of those hurricanes, 3 to 5 potentially being major hurricanes, Cat 3 or higher. And of course, hurricane season starts June 1st, so not far away. All right, here's a look at our satellite and radar. The clouds and showers today far to the east of us, but what we're watching is this area of disturbed weather in the Gulf of Mexico, the western Gulf of Mexico here. A lot of cloud cover, some showers and thunderstorms associated with it. This is all part of our overall weather pattern and this disturbed weather pattern we've had with this big dip in the upper level flow. That dip is helping to cause all the shower activity from basically the Gulf of Mexico, the western Gulf, all the way into Louisiana and then right up into the mid-south. We're talking Arkansas and parts of Oklahoma and even East Texas there. What this is going to do, it's going to start drifting westward as we get into the weekend. So it's going to drag some of that rain potential back toward us starting late Friday. So let's take a look at our future cast. And I'm only going to bring this into the midday on Saturday, but we'll start the day tomorrow with low clouds and areas of fog. Then we'll break out into some sunshine, but in terms of real rain chances, we are expecting some pop-up storms by the afternoon and even into the evening hours. Now, most of it should be closer to the coastline and even closer to Houston, but some will likely develop and wander its way westward, and even here in San Antonio, we could see a few quick downpours and basically garden variety thunderstorms. Lesser chances as you get to the Rio Grande. I don't think you'll really be seeing any rain closer to the border tomorrow or through the weekend. Then we get into Saturday. Yeah, cloudy start, maybe some isolated drizzle early, a little bit of afternoon sunshine, and that disturbance starts getting closer to us into the afternoon and evening hours. So we'll likely start to see some more development east of I-35 by Saturday afternoon. And then later in the day on Saturday, that could even move into San Antonio. So we're looking at Saturday, a 40% chance for later in the day. Then we get into Sunday, and I think conditions are a little more favorable for more numerous showers to pop up. So we bump that up to a 60% chance. So odds are looking more favorable overall across South Texas as we get into the latter half of the weekend. Right now, temperatures 80s for the most part. As we get into tomorrow morning, we'll start the day in the 60s, make it back into the mid 80s, those 30% chances by the afternoon and evening. And we talked about those rain chances into the weekend, especially more favorable on Sunday. If you have Saturday morning plans, Saturday midday, most of us will be all right. It's closer to the coastline where you'll see those showers by the afternoon. And next week, back to 90 degrees.
Here comes summer. Thank you.
All right, just like that, the Spurs season's over.
Yeah, and it could have been just like that a lot earlier had it not been for the play-in tournament. So they did get another chance, but it didn't pan out. When we come back, Spurs have been eliminated from the postseason after the loss to Memphis last night in the play-in tournament. We'll hear from the team as well as DeMar DeRozan on if he plans to return to the Spurs next season. Coming up.
unique, roller coaster, weird. I think them three things that definitely sums up the season.
That's how DeMar DeRozan sums up the Spurs season ended last night in Memphis in Big Board Sports. For the first time in 45 years, the Spurs have failed to make the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. Such is the case after the Spurs lost to the Memphis Grizzlies in their first ever play-in game. Spurs got off to a terrible start as Memphis would go on a 14-0 run, extended by Dylan Brooks' slam to open up with a 23-6 lead. The Spurs only shot 33% in the first quarter, would be down by as many as 21 points. Much better second quarter as the Spurs go on a 17-0 run as Keldon Johnson throws down the putback jam to cut the Grizzlies lead to 2. But in the second half, Ja Morant picks DeJounte Murray's pocket and throws down the slam on the other end. The Spurs go on a 11-0 run, though, with this Patty Mills three-pointer. DeJounte Murray with his 5th triple-double, 10 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. And DeMar DeRozan would lead the Silver and Black with 20, but they had no answer for Jonas Valanciunas, who had 23 points, a season-high 23 rebounds, and the Spurs fall 196.
I don't know if I've ever been more proud of a team that just doesn't quit. No matter what the mistakes, no matter what the circumstances are, they really fight, and that's a good base.
DeMar DeRozan is an unrestricted free agent now that the Spurs season is over. That's after he failed to exercise his player option on his contract. He just completed his 3rd and maybe his last season in Silver and Black since the forced Kawhi Leonard trade with the Toronto Raptors, but also brought the Spurs Jakob Poeltl. DeRozan was asked right after the loss if he'd be willing to return to the Spurs.
I've never been in this situation before in my career to be going, completely in as a free agent. I have no clue. It hasn't been something I thought about or pondered about, or I could sit up here and say, I got options. This, it's just, I'm still thinking about how we could have won, how we could have kept playing. So many emotions, just with these guys and, having to go sit on the plane with those guys and, try to keep them upbeat. Understanding that, it's definitely a learning curve, and this is something that could build you up for the long run in your career. So, that's my focus right now, is just trying to keep these guys' head up, be positive, as much as it sucks right now.
And he's not the only one. You look at Rudy Gay is also a free agent now, so they got a lot of work to do during this offseason.
Patty Mills, I believe.
Yep. So, again, a lot of shuffling to see what you're going to do to rebuild this team.
Yeah, and is Pop coming back?
And that's another question.
Yeah.
Always asked after a season at this point.
Every year. Mm-hmm. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching the News at 5.
World News up next. See you back here at 6.